I found the photo on Thursday evening, not on purpose. I wasn't looking for evidence, checking phones, digging through anyone's accounts. I was just scrolling Instagram in bed while Lily finally fell asleep after an hour of more water, mommy, and one more story. Jessica had posted a story. A photo of a cocktail against a sunset backdrop. Beautiful, aesthetic, caption, needed this. I smiled. I was glad she was getting at least a little break from the family emergency she'd mentioned. Then I looked closer. In the reflection of the glass, blurry but visible, was an image. Two people at a table, a woman, and a man. I zoomed in. The man was wearing a blue shirt. That exact blue shirt I'd bought Mark for Christmas last year. The one he'd put on this morning when he left for a conference in Seattle. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 33 years old. I'm a third-grade teacher, though I'm currently on sabbatical after having Lily. My daughter is 2 years old, and she's the most beautiful, most exhausting thing that's ever happened to me. I've been married to Mark for 7 years. We met at a friend's wedding. He was a groomsman, I was a bridesmaid. Classic story. He works in tech sales, travels a lot. I'd always been okay with it. Trust, we told each other. Marriage works on trust. Jessica has been my best friend for the last 10 years. We met when she came to work at our school as a substitute teacher. We clicked instantly. She was at my wedding, held my hand during labor when Mark was stuck in traffic, helped me get through the first terrible months of motherhood when I thought I was going insane from lack of sleep. And now she was at a romantic dinner with my husband. I stared at the photo, then at Mark, sleeping beside me. His phone lay on the nightstand, face down as always. No, wait. Mark was in Seattle, at a conference. He'd called me 3 hours ago from his hotel room. I'd heard the TV in the background, the sound of traffic outside. I looked at the story again, checked the timestamp. Posted an hour ago, checked for a location tag which Jessica usually added to everything, nothing on this story. But on the previous story, the one she'd posted this morning, there was a geotag. Vine Street Bar and Grill. I Googled it. Vine Street Bar and Grill, Portland, Oregon, 2 hours drive from us. Not Seattle. You know what's strange? In that moment I didn't feel panic, didn't feel anger, I felt clarity. Like all the little oddities of the last few months suddenly came together into a picture I'd refused to see before. Mark's sudden weekend conferences. Jessica's last-minute cancellations of our plans. How they'd both been weirdly enthusiastic about my girls' trip with Jessica this weekend. First trip after Lily was born. You deserve a break, Mark had said. You need this time for yourself, Jessica had said. Of course they wanted me to go away. They needed a weekend together without having to lie about conferences and family emergencies. I put my phone down, stared at the ceiling. Upstairs, Lily slept in her room, hugging the stuffed bunny Jessica had given her for her first birthday. Mark slept beside me, breathing evenly, peacefully. And I lay in the darkness understanding that my life, the life I knew, had just ended. But here's what's interesting. Instead of waking Mark, confronting him right now, screaming and crying, I just turned on my side, closed my eyes, and started planning. Because if Jessica thought she could steal my weekend getaway for an affair with my husband, she was severely underestimating me. And if Mark thought I'd be the type of wife who just accepts betrayal and cries in a corner, he'd forgotten who he married. I'm a teacher. I spend my days managing 28-year-olds at once. I gave birth without an epidural because the anesthesiologist didn't arrive in time. I survived 2 years of motherhood with minimal sleep and maximum stress. I wasn't fragile. And tomorrow morning, I'd start finding out exactly how long this had been going on and who else, besides me, had been stupid enough not to see it. I woke up at 6 in the morning. Couldn't sleep any longer. Mark slept beside me on his back, one arm behind his head. peaceful. As if he didn't have a single secret in the world. I wonder if he practiced this. Lying next to me every night, waking up every morning, kissing me goodbye, knowing he was sleeping with my best friend. Or was it easy for him? At 6:30 his alarm went off. He turned it off, stretched, turned to me. "Good morning," he kissed my cheek. "Good morning." My voice sounded normal. Didn't crack, didn't break, good. "What time's your flight?" I asked. 10:30, I need to leave by 8 to get through security. A lie, a clean, smooth lie right to my face. "Okay, I'll make you breakfast," he smiled. "You're the best." Downstairs, I made pancakes. Lily woke up demanding attention. I put her in the high chair with cut-up fruit. Normal Friday morning routine. Mark came down in a suit, packed bag by the door, ready for his business trip. "You sure you'll be okay with Lily alone this weekend?" he asked, pouring coffee. "I can cancel if it's too much." So thoughtful, so concerned. No, I smiled. "Your mom's coming Saturday to help. We'll manage." That was true. I really had asked his mother to come when I thought I was going on a girls' trip. "Okay. I'll call when I land." Another lie, he wouldn't be on a plane. He kissed Lily on the head, kissed me. "Love you," he said. "Love you too," automatically. Words I'd said 1,000 times. The door closed behind him. I heard his car in the driveway, pulling away. I looked at Lily. She was smearing blueberries across the high chair tray. "Well, baby girl," I said, "let's find out what Daddy's really been doing these last few months." The first thing I did was call Mark's mom. "Emily, dear, how are you?" "Good, Sharon. Listen, I'm so sorry, but plans changed. I don't need you to come on Saturday." "Oh, did your trip get canceled?" "Yes, Jessica got sick. We'll reschedule." "Sorry for the inconvenience." "Not a problem at all. Hope Jessica feels better soon." After I hung up, I sat down at the laptop. Mark and I had a joint cell phone plan. I could see all calls and texts. Not the content, but numbers, timestamps, duration. I logged into the account, scrolled to Mark's line, and there it was. Jessica's number, again and again and again. Calls every day. Sometimes 2, 3 times a day, some lasting minutes. Some over an hour. Texts, hundreds. Literally hundreds over the last 3 months. 3 months. This started 3 months ago. I remembered 3 months ago, that was July. Lily had just started speaking in sentences. We'd gone on a beach trip. Me, Mark, and Lily. Jessica came with us because she'd just broken up with her boyfriend and needed cheering up. We shared a beach house. I remembered how Jessica and Mark would go together early in the morning for coffee while I stayed with Lily. How they'd cook dinner together while I bathed Lily. How they'd sit on the deck in the evening, drinking wine, while I put Lily to bed. I thought they were just bonding. My husband's friends and my best friend, getting along. God, I was so blind. I opened the credit card statements. Mark had his corporate card for work expenses, but we also had a joint personal card for everything else. I scrolled through transactions for the last 3 months. Vine Street Bar and Grill. 4 times. Hotel charges, Portland Marriott. Twice. Dinner reservations at restaurants I'd never heard of. Flowers from a local florist delivered not to our house. And then something strange. A charge from a jewelry store. $847. 2 weeks ago. I'd never received any jewelry 2 weeks ago. I picked up the phone, called the jewelry store. "Riverside Jewelers, how can I help you?" "Hi, my name is Emily Carter. My husband Mark Carter made a purchase with you about 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to track the item for insurance purposes. Can you tell me what it was?" "1 moment, let me check." "Ah yes, Mr. Carter. He purchased a white gold bracelet with small diamond accents. Very lovely piece. A bracelet. A diamond bracelet for almost $900. "Thank you," I said and hung up. I stood up, went upstairs, opened my jewelry box. Nothing new was there. Of course not. because the bracelet wasn't for me. You know what's the worst part? Not the affair itself, not even that it was Jessica. The worst part was understanding how much planning this required. Phone calls every day, secret dinners, hotel rooms, jewelry. This wasn't a moment of weakness, not a drunken mistake, not it just happened. This was a relationship. An actual relationship they were building while I did what? Changed diapers, cooked dinner, trusted them both. Lily started crying upstairs. Nap time was over. I went to her, picked her up from the crib. Her little arms wrapped around my neck. "Mama," she said. "Yes, baby, Mama's here." I held my daughter and thought about what Mark was missing, what he was missing this for. Weekend trips when Lily took her first steps, he was with Jessica. Evenings when Lily started saying "dada," he was on the phone with Jessica. Mornings when I found Lily's first tooth on the floor, he was texting Jessica. He chose her over us, again and again. My phone buzzed, text from Mark. Landed. "Conference starts at 1. Love you." I stared at the message. Then I took a screenshot. I opened a new note on my phone and started typing. The Instagram story at Vine Street Bar, Thursday at 8 p.m. Phone records showing hundreds of calls and texts from July through October. The credit card charges at Vine Street 4 times, the Portland Marriott twice. The jewelry purchase, $847 for a white gold diamond bracelet that was never for me. And the text he just sent, claiming he'd landed, another lie. I saved the note. Then I opened Instagram, looked at Jessica's profile. Her last post was from yesterday. A photo of her cat with the caption, "Quiet Friday night at home." Quiet Friday night at home, while she was actually with my husband in Portland. I wonder how many of her posts were lies. How many girls' nights were actually dates with Mark? How many family emergencies were weekends in hotels? My phone rang. Jessica, I looked at the screen, her name flashing. Part of me wanted to answer, scream into the phone, demand answers, but I didn't answer. Because I understood something sitting there with Lily on my lap, looking at the evidence I'd gathered in 2 hours. A confrontation now would give me what? Tears, apologies, excuses? No, I wanted more than that. I wanted to understand exactly how deep this went. Who else knew? What they were planning? Was this just an affair, or were they planning a future together? And then, when I knew everything, every detail, every lie, every complicit person, only then would I confront them both. With facts, with evidence, with a plan for myself and for Lily. Jessica called again. I sent it to voicemail again. The third time she texted, I feel so bad. My aunt is in the hospital. I'm so sorry about the trip. Can we reschedule? Call me." Lies upon lies upon lies, I typed a response. "Oh no, of course don't worry about the trip. Family first. Hope your aunt is okay. Keep me posted." Sent. If she wanted to play this game, I could play too. But I was playing to win. On Saturday morning, Lily was particularly clingy. She didn't want to eat breakfast, didn't want to play with toys, just wanted me to hold her. Children sense things, even when they don't understand them. Maybe she felt that something was wrong. That Mama was there physically, but her mind was somewhere else. Around 11, she finally fell asleep for her nap. I put her in the crib, turned on the baby monitor. Mark's laptop was on his desk in the home office. He usually took it on trips, but yesterday morning I'd seen him grab only his tablet. "Lighter for carry-on," he'd said. I sat at his desk, opened the laptop. Not locked. Mark never locked it at home. "Why, we trust each other," he'd said once. Trust. Funny how that word sounded now. I opened his email. Personal account, not work. The inbox was full of usual stuff. Newsletters, promotions, some work-related threads. I typed Jessica in the search bar. 87 results. 87 emails between them over the last 3 months. I opened the first one. Dated July 15th. A week after the beach trip. Mark, I can't stop thinking about last night. I know we said it was a mistake, but was it? I've never felt this way before, not with anyone. And his response, I know, me neither. But we can't do this. Emily is your best friend, she's my wife, we have Lily. This was one moment of weakness. It can't happen again. One moment. They tried to stop it at the beginning. But clearly they didn't stop. Next email. July 20th. I know what we said, but I miss you. Is that crazy? We spent one night together and now I miss you constantly. What is happening to me? Not crazy, I miss you too, but we really can't. Think about Emily. The first weeks they tried, at least pretending they tried, I scrolled further. August, the tone changed. Tuesday lunch, that place we talked about. Yes, I'll tell Emily I have a client meeting. 12:30, casual. Planning dates like it was nothing. September emails were worse. I bought that dress you mentioned, the blue one, wearing it tonight, hope you like it. Can't wait to see it, and take it off. Hotel confirmation attached. I felt sick. But I kept reading. Because somewhere in these emails was the truth, the full truth about who they were, what they wanted. And then I found it. Email from October 10th, 2 weeks ago. Subject line. We need to talk about timing. I opened it. Jessica wrote, I've been thinking about what you said last weekend, about us being more open about this. I agree we can't keep hiding forever. But Mark, we need a plan, a real plan. Emily is going to be devastated. I know that. I hate that. She's been my best friend for 10 years. But I also can't keep pretending I don't love you, that this is just some fling. You said you'd talk to her after the holidays. That gives us 2 months. 2 months to figure out logistics. Lily, the house, custody arrangements. I've been looking at apartments. Nothing too close to your neighborhood, but close enough for easy custody handoffs. I know this is complicated. I know I'm asking you to blow up your life. But isn't that what you want too? To not have to sneak around? To actually be together? Let me know what you're thinking. I love you. I reread the email 3 times. Apartments, custody arrangements. After the holidays. This wasn't just an affair. They were planning a future together. Mark's response came the same day. I love you too, you know I do. And yes, we need to stop hiding. But the timing, it's complicated. Lily is so young. Emily will fight custody, you know that. And financially, divorce will be messy. The house is in both our names. Savings are mixed. It'll take time to untangle everything. I'm not saying no, I'm saying we need to be smart about this. Strategic, maybe after New Year's. Give Emily good holidays with Lily, then we start the process. I want to be with you. Officially. But let's do this right so we don't lose more than we need to. Okay? I love you. See you soon. Strategic. He was planning divorce strategically, timing it to minimize his losses, giving me good holidays as a last gift before destroying my life. My hands shook as I scrolled further. Jessica's next response. You're right. Strategic is smart. I just hate waiting. But I trust you. We'll do this the right way. By the way, I told Emily I had a family emergency this weekend, so we have Portland to ourselves. She was so understanding. Said we'd reschedule the trip. I feel terrible lying to her, but soon we won't have to lie anymore, right? See you tonight, wearing the bracelet you gave me. The bracelet, the diamond bracelet for $847 of my money from our joint credit card. I closed the laptop, stood up, went to the window. Outside was a beautiful October day. Leaves turning colors. Neighborhood kids playing in the yard. Normal Saturday afternoon, except my husband was planning to leave me. My best friend was helping him plan it. And they both thought I was so stupid, so trusting, that I'd never find out until they were ready to tell me. After the holidays. They were going to give me good holidays. Christmas with Lily, New Year's, maybe even Valentine's Day. And then Mark would sit me down, tell me he's not happy, that he needs space, that it's not about me, it's about him. And I, being devastated and blindsided, would probably agree to whatever custody arrangement he suggested, whatever financial split he wanted, because I wouldn't know about Jessica, wouldn't know it started months ago, wouldn't know about the planning, the apartments, the strategic timing. But now I knew, you know what. Sitting there in Mark's office, looking at his email account full of lies, I felt something strange. Not just anger, not just hurt, I felt power, because they didn't know I knew. They thought they controlled the narrative, controlled the timing. But I had something they didn't have: information, evidence, and time to prepare. 2 months until their planned timeline. 2 months to consult with a divorce lawyer, to understand my rights, to protect my financial interests and custody of Lily. 2 months to stop being the naive, trusting wife and become someone who fights for herself. My phone buzzed. Text from Mark. Conference going great. Miss you and Lily. FaceTime tonight? I looked at the message. Then I typed a response. Sounds perfect. Lily will be so excited to see Daddy. Around 7, sent. I could play this game too. Smile, pretend, plan good holidays. But while they thought they were 2 months ahead of D-Day, I was 2 months ahead of them. And when it came time for confrontation, it would be on my terms, not theirs. I took screenshots of all the emails, saved them in an encrypted folder on my phone. Then I searched for the best divorce lawyers in Charlotte, North Carolina, specializing in women's rights. Because if Mark wanted strategic, I'd give him strategic. But this time, the strategy would work for me. On Monday morning, I called the Thompson and Associates office. Their reputation was solid, protecting women's rights in divorce. The receptionist was professional and discreet. First consultation available Wednesday at 2. Bring any financial documents you have. I'll be there. Wednesday, I left Lily with a neighbor under the pretense of a doctor appointment. Wore a business casual outfit. Took a folder with printouts. Emails, credit card statements, phone records. Attorney Diane Thompson was a woman around 50. Sharp suit, kind eyes, no-nonsense energy. She read the emails silently, then looked at me. How long have you known? A week. And he doesn't know you know? No, she nodded approvingly. Good, that gives us an advantage. Mrs. Carter, may I be blunt with you? Please. Your husband is planning a divorce strategically to minimize his financial losses, which means he's probably consulted with an attorney already, or will soon. My stomach twisted. I hadn't thought about that. What should I do? Several things. First, document everything. Every email, text, phone call, credit card charge, everything related to the affair. Courts in North Carolina consider adultery in alimony decisions. She opened a legal pad. Second, financial records. I need bank statements for the last year, retirement accounts, property deeds, debt information, insurance policies, everything. We have everything joint. For now, but you need to open a personal checking account. Separate. Start putting money there. Not large amounts that would be noticed, but enough to have a cushion. If he files first and freezes accounts, you need funds available. She continued. Third, Lily. North Carolina uses the best interest of the child standard for custody. Document your involvement in her care. Who takes her to the doctor? Who makes meals? Who handles daycare and school communication? Be the visibly primary parent. I already am the primary parent. Then document it. Keep a calendar. Record when he says he's working late but is actually with Jessica. A pattern of absence matters. And when do I confront him? Diane looked at me carefully. When you're ready to file, not before. The moment he knows you know, he can start hiding assets, creating a paper trail showing him as an involved parent, building his case. You want to file first with all evidence gathered. They're planning to tell me after New Year's. Then you file in January, first week. Beat him to it by days. I nodded, writing. One more question, Mrs. Carter. Your friend Jessica, does she have resources? She's a teacher, like I was, not wealthy. So Mark probably isn't leaving you for a financial upgrade. This is a genuine affair, which means it could be messy. Emotional. Be prepared that he might fight harder for custody or assets out of principle, not logic. On my way out, Diane gave me a list. Open a personal bank account. Copy all financial documents. Document custody and parenting time. Continue gathering affair evidence. Return in 2 weeks with updates. I sat in the car, looked at the list. This was real now, not just shock or anger, real steps toward ending my marriage. My phone buzzed. Mark, thinking about you, Thai food for dinner tonight. I'll pick up takeout on the way home. I looked at the text. The normal, casual, loving husband, typed back, perfect, Lily will be so happy. See you soon. Then I drove to the bank. The next 6 weeks were the strangest time of my life. Externally, everything was normal. Mark came home every evening. We had dinner as a family, watched TV, put Lily to bed together. On weekends, we went to the park, did grocery shopping, attended Lily's music class. Perfect little family. He kissed me goodbye every morning, said I love you every night, and I smiled and said it back. But internally, I was a different person. Every late meeting, I recorded in a calendar with timestamps. Every work trip, I checked phone records afterward and saw calls to Jessica. Every dollar he spent, I copied statements. I opened a personal checking account at a different bank. Started transferring $200 every week. Mark never checked our finances closely enough to notice. I copied every important document. Titles to the house and cars. Retirement account statements. Tax returns for 5 years. Lily's birth certificate, social security card. Everything in a safe deposit box Mark didn't know about. Jessica called me regularly. Coffee this week? How's Lily? Did you see that funny video I sent? I answered. Met her sometimes. Sat across from her at Starbucks, watching her lie to me about her busy week, when I knew she'd spent Tuesday evening in a hotel with my husband. Complimented her outfit when I recognized pieces Mark had bought on our credit card. Listened to her complain about being single and lonely when I knew she was planning apartments for custody handoffs. It was surreal, like performance art, but I did it because I needed time. Thanksgiving came, we hosted. Mark's parents, my mom, Jessica too, of course, I cooked the turkey. Mark carved it. Jessica helped with dishes. We sat around the table, holding hands for grace. Mark's father gave thanks for a beautiful family. My mom talked about how grateful she was for a wonderful son-in-law. Jessica said how thankful she was for amazing friends like family. Lily in her high chair, smashing mashed potatoes. Picture perfect. After dinner, Mark and Jessica volunteered to clean the kitchen together while I put Lily down for a nap. I left the baby monitor on, the one in the kitchen too. I heard their voices. This is harder than I thought, Jessica said quietly. I know, but soon, after the holidays, we agreed. Watching her play Happy Homemaker, it breaks my heart. Mine too, but we're doing this the right way, remember. For everyone, sound of running water, dishes clinking. I love you, Jessica whispered. I love you too, soon we won't be hiding. I turned off the monitor, sat in Lily's room watching her sleep. Soon, after the holidays. They thought they had a plan, but I had a better one. December passed in a blur, Christmas shopping, holiday parties, Lily's first real understanding of Santa. Mark was attentive, even thoughtful, bought me a beautiful scarf for Christmas. Saw this and thought of you. I thanked him, wore it. Didn't mention the diamond bracelet I knew he'd bought for Jessica. Didn't mention the weekend hotel reservation in Portland for the two of them the day after Christmas. Just smiled. Played the role. On New Year's Eve, we stayed home. Lily was too young for a party. At midnight, we kissed on the couch, watching the TV countdown. "Happy New Year, Em," he said. "Happy New Year." He didn't know how different this year would be. The first Monday in January, I met with Diane again. I placed a folder in front of her, thicker than before. "I'm ready to file," I said. She reviewed the documents. Nodded. "This is a strong case. Adultery documented. Financial evidence solid. Custody pattern clear. We can file Friday. He'll be served Monday." "What happens then?" "He finds out you know. He'll probably call you immediately. Might come home, might be angry, might be defensive. You need to be prepared." "I will be." "One more thing. Do you want me to contact Jessica? She can be named in the adultery claim." I thought about it. "Not yet." "Mark first." Diane looked at me. "Mrs. Carter, Emily, may I say something personal?" "Of course. When you first came here, you were scared, uncertain. Now you're a different person, stronger." I had to be. For Lily, not just for Lily, for yourself too. After the meeting, I sat in the car. Friday, 3 days. 3 days until Mark's world imploded. I wonder what he was doing those 3 days. Planning how to tell me. Rehearsing his speech. "Emily, we need to talk. I'm not happy. This isn't about you." He didn't know that conversation would never happen. That instead, a process server would appear at his office. That I wouldn't be the devastated, blindsided wife. I would be the woman who made the first move. I drove home, picked up Lily from daycare, made dinner. When Mark came home, I kissed him. "How was your day?" "Good." "Yours? Good too." Lies and lies and lies. But soon, very soon, the truth would come out. And this time it would be on my terms. Friday, January 12th. I woke up at 5 in the morning, couldn't sleep anymore. Mark slept beside me, peaceful as always. The last morning he'd sleep in this bed not knowing. I got up quietly, went downstairs, made coffee. At 6:30 my phone buzzed. Email from Diane, papers filed, court stamped. Process server heading to his office at 10 a.m. "Are you ready?" I typed back. "Yes." Mark came down at 7, his usual time. "Good morning," he kissed my cheek. "Good morning." The last kiss as an unsuspecting husband. "I have an important meeting today," he said, pouring coffee. "Probably home late, okay?" A meeting with Jessica, I knew. Phone records showed a lunch reservation. "Of course, see you tonight." He left at 8. I watched from the window as his car drove away. Then I went upstairs to Lily. She woke up smiling. "Mama," I picked her up from the crib, held her tight. "I love you, baby girl. Everything's going to be okay." "I promise." At 9, I got a text from Diane. "Server en route. Estimated arrival 10:15. At 10:05, I sat on the couch. Lily was playing with blocks on the floor. My phone was in my hand, waiting. At 10:23 it rang. "Mark." I looked at the screen, didn't answer. He called again, and again. Then a text, "Emily, what the hell?" Then, "Call me now." Then, "Divorce papers, are you serious?" I turned off my phone. An hour later he came home. I heard his car in the driveway, the door slammed. He burst into the house. "Emily," I was in the living room, Lily on my lap. He stopped, seeing us. Papers in his hand. Face red. "What is this?" He shook the papers. "Divorce, you can read." "Divorce, without a conversation, without warning, you just file." I put Lily gently on the floor. "Sweetie, go to your room. Play with toys." "Mama, now baby," she left, sensing the tension. When I heard her door close, I turned to Mark. "You want to talk about warning? Interesting." "Emily, I don't understand. We were fine." "What happened?" Years of acting as a teacher helped me now. My voice was calm, controlled. "How many times were you in Portland with Jessica?" He froze. "What?" Simple question. How many times? I wasn't. 6, I said. 6 times over the last 4 months. Vine Street Bar 4 times. Portland Marriott twice. Total cost on our joint credit card, $3,247. The color drained from his face. You. How long have you known? Since October. October, that was 3 months ago. Yes, 3 months while you planned how to leave me strategically. Remember that word, strategic, from your email to Jessica. He sat heavily in a chair. You read my emails. Yes, all 87 of them. I especially liked the one about apartments for custody handoffs. Thoughtful planning. Emily, diamond bracelet for $847. Dinner reservations. Hotel rooms. Phone calls every day, sometimes while I was putting our daughter to bed. Did you think I was that stupid? I didn't. We didn't plan this, it just happened. Don't lie to me, not now, I read your emails. You planned this since July. The beach trip was the beginning, wasn't it? While I was with Lily, you two, I stopped. Breathed. You know what the worst part is, not the affair, not even that it was Jessica. The worst part is that you were going to give me good holidays, like a last gift. Then tell me after New Year's when you were ready, on your terms. Mark stared at the floor. I didn't want to hurt you, but you wanted Jessica more than you wanted not to hurt me. Silence. The papers say adultery, he said finally. Are you naming Jessica? Not yet, but I can. If you fight custody or alimony. I won't fight you. Good, because I have 3 months of documented evidence. Every time you said late meeting but were with her, every weekend you missed with Lily. A pattern of absence. The court won't be impressed. He looked at me, really looked at me. When did you become so cold? When I found out my husband and my best friend were planning my devastation like a business transaction. You wanted strategic, Mark. I gave you strategic. I stood up. You can get your things next week. My attorney will contact yours for scheduling. Right now, I need you to leave. Emily, please, can we at least? No, we can't. You had 3 months to be honest with me. You chose to keep lying. Now it's my turn to choose, and I choose this. He stood slowly, looked at the stairs where Lily's room was. Can I say goodbye to Lily? Not today, soon. When my attorney sets up a custody schedule. She's my daughter too. Then maybe you should have thought about her before spending weekends with Jessica instead of us. He walked to the door, stopped. I loved you, you know. I still, no, I interrupted. Don't say that. You loved the idea of me, the safe wife at home with the baby, while you had excitement with Jessica. You wanted both, but now you have neither. Jessica and I, good luck with that. When an affair becomes a relationship, someone's always wondering if you'll cheat again, especially when she knows you're capable of it. The door closed behind him. I stood in the silence of my house. Our house. My house now. Upstairs, Lily started crying. She felt something was wrong. I went to her, picked her up. SHH, baby, Mama's here, everything will be okay. I didn't know if that was true, but I was going to make it true. 6 months later. Lily runs toward me across the park, her pigtails bouncing. Mama, Mama, I'm going down the slide. I'm watching, baby, be careful. July afternoon. Warm, sunny, the park is full of families. I sit on a bench, watching my daughter play. 6 months. The divorce was finalized in April. Quick, as divorces go, Mark didn't fight custody. 60-40 split in my favor. Alimony for 3 years. The house stayed with me. Jessica and Mark are still together. I saw them once, picking up Lily from his new apartment. They looked uncomfortable. The reality of dating someone you had an affair with is probably different from the fantasy. Not my problem anymore. I went back to teaching in May. Part-time at first. Lily in daycare 3 days a week, slowly rebuilding a routine. Therapy helped. Individual for me. Family therapy for Lily, helping her adjust to separated homes. She's okay. Kids are resilient. And me, some days are good, some are hard. But I'm not the woman who sat in bed in October looking at an Instagram story, feeling her world crumble. That woman was scared, betrayed, lost. Now I'm strong, clear. Building something new, not for Mark, not against Jessica, for myself, for Lily. My phone buzzes. Text from my new friend group, teachers I reconnected with after returning to work. Wine night Friday, my place, I smile. Type back, absolutely, I'll bring cheese. Real friendships. One's built on honesty, not lies. Lily runs back to me. Mama, I'm hungry. Okay, baby, let's go home. Mac and cheese. Yay, we walk to the car, her little hand in mine. We drive past Vine Street Bar on the way home. I don't look at it anymore. It's part of the past. And me, I'm looking forward. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe someday I'll be ready to trust again. Love again, or maybe not. And that's okay too, because I learned something important over these 6 months. Betrayal can break you, or it can show you who you are when everything's stripped away. I chose the second, and that, I've decided, is enough.